Ooh, I cannot get enough of that new intro, man. That thing is clean. What's going on, y'all? Obviously, you're tuning in. Welcome to Sports Laugh and Chill. I'm Jordan Watkins. Obviously, we got Gina V, always repping the Bay, even though her name doesn't show it. She's always repping it. Rod's in the building. Wise is in the building. Dan might be in the building. Now he's in the building. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Let's cook. Let's cook.
We hopping right into it.
The ghost of Marcus is in the building.
Let us cook.
And literally, Marcus is in the building. What up? What up, Danielle?
Oh, there he is.
What up, Marcus?
Danielle, what's up with it?
What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Danielle? Hey, Danielle, acknowledge me. You know what it is.
Ooh.
You know what it is. Look at Rod's face. Rod got. Let me pause. Pause. Let me say
it wasn't just Rod's face.
Yeah. Rod got the best facials. Pause.
Oh my god.
We right into it.
Oh, man. I can't. What up,
y'all?
sis?
Comedy right there. That's funny.
I can't.
That's funny right there.
This has started off already. Liddy.
Yeah. I feel like we need to start this over.
Indeed.
Gina, can you do me a favor? Can you play the intro again? Like let's just start. It's on a bad vibe already.
Run it back.
I don't like it. Run it back, Turbo. I don't like this. Play the intro again. We can't start like this.
Wait.
See, I'm still in my football coach mode right now. Like it's like, nope, that's not good enough. Bad rep. Start it over.
Bad rep. Do it again.
Speaking of reps.
Oh boy, I guess we're not starting over. We're getting
right
into it.
Again. Yeah.
We're getting right into it. We can't, because then the audience will be confused on playback, because people actually play our show back because we actually have a lot of viewers, like the 500 we got right now. Thank you so much.
500 is in the building.
Wow. All right.
Let's cook.
Peep the new Niners here. You like that? You like that?
You like
that shirt
that?
dope though.
You like it? I just picked it up for 25 cookies. I mean dollars.
Start the show.
Is it real? Never mind.
Sports.
Okay.
Why did we really restart the song though? Why did we really do that?
I don't know.
That had to be Jordan. That had to be
Can we
Jordan.
all behave now? Are we good?
That had to be Jordan.
I swear to God. What up, Tanya? What up, sis?
Wow. Yikes.
All right.
Wasn't me. Hey, wasn't me.
Here we go, everyone. Welcome to
It
Sports
definitely
Lab
wasn't
and
me.
Chill. Everybody's in the building. I'm about to do it again.
Oh my
All
god.
right,
No.
Before we get, let's just get into it. All right.
Wait, look at this support right here. I love
That's
this.
love. I appreciate
That
it.
is love. Thank you so
Yes,
much
Hey,
for
what's up?
tuning
Thanks
in.
for tapping in. Thanks for tapping
That's
in.
my
Hey, everybody
auntie.
hit that like button.
That's my auntie. What up, Auntie Q?
Shout out to Rod's auntie.
Oh, I was like, I think
God.
that is.
I love you. You don't know me, but I love you.
I do too.
Because she says, get the belt.
She literally tells me that often.
Oh,
like,
man.
I see you this weekend, Auntie.
I missed the relationships podcast because I was so busy, but I was with my niece and my sister-in-law, but man, I got to catch that episode. Anyway,
well, no, let's get into it. Obviously, you know, it was a big weekend for football starting on, I believe it was Thursday. Was it Thursday? I think. But the official week 1 of preseason happened. All of our teams were in action. You know, a lot of positives, some negatives. And so, yeah, you know, just want to go all around for everybody for teams. Dan, I'm going to let you go first with the Rams. going up against the Chargers. What were your thoughts of what you saw from your Rams in week 1? Some good, some bad, whatever case may be in the middle. You name it.
Absolutely. So, what I saw with the Rams, I saw some really, really positive things from my offense. My offensive unit looked pretty well. My receiver room, I'm really, really proud of. It was good to see my rookie receiver, Puka Nakua, catch that first TD from Stetson Bennett. Another rookie on rookie action. I like seeing that. I've been noted not to be a Stetson Bennett fan, but he's given me good quarterback play so far. Can't be mad at the rookie. Got to give him his respect. They moved the offense efficiently. I like what I'm seeing from my offensive line. The depth there looks really good. We were riddled with injuries last year at the O-line position, so it's good to see some of those guys coming back. One of my rookies that we had drafted last year, Logan Bruce, who was going to be starting in a guard position now, is like second on the depth chart. So that just goes to show, some of the depth that we have at offensive line, which will bode well for us to keep Matthew Stafford up. The things that I did not like, my defense, man, it's going to be scary hours if they take Aaron Donald out the game. I saw a lot of misreads on the edge. We didn't seal the edge 2 or 3 times, and they hit us with gash runs, 30 and 40 plus yard on two rushes. I'm very happy with my rookie LaDainian Tomlinson's nephew. He played very well in the cornerback position, had a lot of breakups, a lot of good tackles, come down on the run. Like to see that from him. But secondary as a whole, we gave up a lot of big yard plays, 3rd and 17s, just giving it up. Same old Raheem the Dream defense, but we'll see what happens. Other than that, though, I was happy to see what my rookies did and seeing how the guys gel. So we'll see. Those are the good positives, some of the negatives of that game.
Yeah, I know y'all had a second-year guy. I think it was Kair Thomas. I hope I said his name right. 1.5 sacks. Obviously, you love to see some depth guys come in and make some havoc happen in the backfield. I was hoping I could see more for Richard LeCount. Obviously, he's a UGA guy.
Right.
Was hoping that he would have been a little bit better in coverage. Maybe it's just the first game jitters. We'll see what it's like. But
I think a couple of those people have
sure
just jitters. You know what I mean? So yeah, I expect a lot from that UGA group, honestly, and especially second year. Darion Kendrick, I expect to have a really good second year for us. So we're gonna see some things. John Johnson coming back is gonna help. Man, it's not the best secondary. Obviously the star ain't there no more. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, the other part too, I thought that was pretty impressive. Tyler Johnson, 5 catches, 70 yards.
What's up,
because
Gail?
we all know one of the hardest things that's been for the Rams as of late offensively is who's going to be that other receiver besides Cooper Kupp, right? Like brought in Allen Robinson last year, that didn't work out. So you're still trying to find that other weapon on the outside, right, for Cooper. So it was good to see Tyler Johnson. Also, it was cool to see Royce Freeman. He found the end zone. I played against Royce when he was at Oregon. I mean, you want to talk about a hard dude to tackle and then hard dude to stop from falling forward. He was one of them. So, just want to see what can happen with him too for y'all.
I'm hoping he rounds out our running back room, makes that third spot. I like him, Kyron, and obviously Cam in the backfield. My wide receiver room is the most confident room that I have in. You mentioned Tyler Johnson. Demarcus Robinson is making plays as well in camp. In practice, he made plays even in that game against the Chargers. Him and Tyler Johnson both look good coming in. I mean, we know what Van Jefferson is somewhat. This is like his prove-it year. We know who Cooper Kupp is. Puka Nakua, my draft pick coming in. We're going to see what Tutu Atwell does. Not too high on Tutu, but this is another, to me, make or break year for him. But I'm actually pretty confident in my wide receiver room. That's probably the best position group that I'm happy about or confident about, is that I feel like, I mean, even Lance McCutcheons is doing his thing and catching balls. So like, I think we'll be okay in that wide receiver room. I hope we keep, the majority of those guys together, so we'll see how it all works out.
Well, y'all heard it here. Dan is not too high on Tutu. Anybody else watch
I was trying
the
to think of
Rams?
a rhyme.
Hey, that's just too easy. It was just right there.
Too easy.
Anybody else watch that Rams Chargers game? Have any ideas or any thoughts about what you saw?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
We don't care.
You know what? In that case, let me go first.
Or hey,
Offer my, the Falcons and Dolphins, because I'm sure everyone's going to have some thoughts about that Niners Raiders preseason action. So for me, obviously Falcons fan, went up against the Dolphins, 19-3 win. I will put it this way: I was happy with what I saw and the limited things that I could see. We had no starters out there, maybe one or two role player depth guys that were playing. But the energy that I saw, especially on defense, right? Like, I feel like there's certain things, even if they might not be the people that are going to be playing on Sundays, you can still feel an energy or passion or some of the type of principles that flow through them, right? Like how hard people play on defense. If they're playing that hard, you're a third string, fourth string guy. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when the first and second string guys do. I mean, even for the Falcons, again, like it was second stringers against second stringers, but 5 sacks. I think they had 3 interceptions. Like there were just certain things that were happening defensively that I had not seen from a Falcons group in a while. And I'm talking even preseason too. But even with that, like Arnold Ebiketie, he's going to be a guy. I've been very high on him, even going back to last year. I was like, no, I see certain things. He just got to keep his technique going. He had a spin move where everything was clinically perfect. And, it's just like, okay, like remember that rep, keep that rep going from when you're going against, some actual stars and actual dudes. Of course, the thing for me is like, even when it was in terms of joint practices, it's the same thing. Like the line guys were getting pressure, even on the offensive line. Some of the guys, they were holding up that Dolphins D line, which is going to be really good. It already is really good. So those were some good things I saw. Obviously, the main thing for me is that now next week when we play Cincinnati, and the starters are going to be in there, keep that same energy, keep that same momentum going. That's the main thing I want to see. Like, I can't really say anything bad outside of, well, Jalen Mayfield, I need you to be better because you're on the outside looking in. Oh, yeah, by the way, Wise, guess where Jalen Mayfield went to school? But, that would be the one thing, right? I mean, you draft somebody that high about 2-3 years ago, you want to see some production, see some things work. So the fact that he's now working on the third string line and not even the second string, that's kind of the wake-up call. At least I hope it would be. So that was the big takeaway for me with the Falcons. Like I said, I'm excited to see what the starters do next week. And now here we go. The one that I know everybody watched and everybody has thoughts and opinions on. And of course, Dan, we got to let the faithful them go first on what their thoughts were and what they saw. And of course, we'll chime in. Gina, I will start with you. It was a 34-7 loss in Vegas, even though it didn't look like it in the stands. To the Raiders. Obviously Trey Lance had the first half, Sam Darnold had the second half, third quarter, and then Brendan Allen. What did you see? What did you like? What didn't you like?
As far as Trey Lance getting sacked, I thought O-line looks like a piece of shit, trash. This is our, not our first team O-line. With that said, I'm not trying to make excuses. Okay, Dan, I know you're listening. Not trying to make excuses. All right. This is preseason, people. All right. This is game 1 of preseason. It doesn't mean shit. All right. Number 2, he just came back. All right. After the Seattle game last year. So, like I said, it's preseason. Not even tripping. I think that Trey Lance looked so much better in the second quarter. Again, I'm not tripping. We have so much more to see from him. I liked. I got nervous about our kicker, but again, preseason. I got I was a little wishy-washy on Ronnie Bell, but he has a lot of potential, so I'm not tripping. Just that's my overall opinion. I'm not tripping. I'd like to say that here, okay, let me just tell you the name of my fantasy team. Okay, this is gonna pretty much put the whole like what I'm looking at this whole year, because I think this sums it up. On Kyle's head. Boom. All right, I'm gonna be on that motherfucker's head all year, and you take that innuendo as you may.
You do you. You do you.
You go. Christian has a question for you, Gina. What did you think of Sam as a quarterback in the second half?
Look, I've always said, and you could pull my receipts, Sam Darnold's trash. Okay, can he run as quarterback in Kyle Shanahan, system? Sure, Jimmy Garoppolo did. Okay. Yes, Jimmy Garoppolo was what he was. Kyle said the best, quarterback we've had in 20 years. Whatever, Kyle. But Lance hasn't even had the chance, the opportunity to do what he could, in a few games. So he's just a different type of quarterback, and they've got a Brandon Allen, they've got a Sam Darnold, they've got a Brock Purdy, and these are all guys that can run Kyle's system. And Kyle he drafted Trey Lance. Now you go and give him some plays that he's meant to have. Don't fuck him over, Kyle. Don't fuck him over. That's what I have to say.
Shout out to the
period.
I have it.
Period.
All right, Rod, you are up. And by the way, Gina, actually, before I let Rod go, Gina just dropped a little bomb there real quick. We are starting a fantasy football league for all of our members and all of our co-hosts, and also Patreon members. So if you want to be a part of that league, you better sign up, get a Patreon subscription. And once you do, we'll tell you all about the prize that's involved. Otherwise, I'm not going to tell you what it's all about unless you're in it. So we keep that part.
Yeah. That I ain't get to the button in time. Sorry.
And also, while Tanya's in the chat saying this, and I don't know if we want to say it now or wait until everyone's had a chance to respond, but we will get to you, Tanya. She did submit questions as a Patreon member. When you subscribe, you can submit questions at tier 2. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. Knock it out, Rod.
Okay, I was just making sure all the announcements, everybody was, governed accordingly.
We had to pay the bills.
Anyway, yeah, facts. I think the table was coming around. The collection plate was gonna go around next. As far as how we looked, we played like what I thought we would play. I'm just joking. We had second teamers in there. I mean, if people was expecting this game to be great, you really played yourself in that aspect. I mean, I feel like it was nothing that was really proven to me or nothing that was really done that I could be like, yo, I was so happy or so surprised with. Woo. I was not thrilled by anything at all. I was just happy to see Trey on the field. He definitely looked rusty, as I thought he would. I mean, anybody who's just coming off of an injury, being out 11 months, now you got live action. How will people come towards his ankle? All that type of stuff. So I feel like for those type of questions to be answered, as far as that portion, he settled in. He got certain things together. Did okay. He did all right. I gave him a C. Defensive wise, Ambry Thomas on the outside showed a couple of plays out there. Ball, which is one of our linebackers, he played good. The other rookie linebacker that we have played pretty good as well. I forgot his name.
You talking about Graham?
Graham, thank you.
Oh, he was flying all over the place.
Yeah,
he was all he
played
was,
good.
He was standing out. Yeah.
Yeah. Defensive line, Kinlaw, bust. Just pure trash. I mean, he played against second teamers. All that talking that you did all summer and every year means absolutely nothing to me right now.
Oh, but he's a freak.
Okay, right.
What they say? Look like Tarzan.
Maybe
like
in the
Jane?
yeah, maybe in the sheets or something, but he sure ain't on the field. Outside of that, it is what it is. I wasn't too much thrilled. I was just happy to see football. That's about it. Right. I was just happy to see some football. That's about it. That's it.
All right, Wise.
Ah, shit. All right. So, first of all, the game itself, yeah, that shit was kind of ass. I'm more upset about how I heard practice went the 2 days we practiced with the Raiders. It didn't exude confidence. A lot of issues seem to come up. We seem to be getting beaten practice, and it looked like it carried over to the game. I'm not worried about anything per se. You know, first preseason game. You know, first time dealing with anybody. Plus, we had the injuries. People, you know, Warner and Greenlaw and all them didn't really participate in practice, so not really tripping about that. The Trey Lance thing. Trey Lance. What Trey Lance needs was last season. And it's clear. He needs to play. Like, and I'm not even saying it as just I want you to be the starter. The kid just needs to play. Wherever he's going, wherever he's gonna play, he needs to be somewhere where he can play. Because we can call it rust. There was rust there, but there was some plays where I'm like, let go of the ball. Like, I feel like he has a lot of pressure on him, and he was trying not to make mistakes.
He
like
felt
there
it.
was, yeah, there were a couple passes. It was I think it was like the second or third play of the game. He literally he was ready to go, and then he just kind of waited, and then bam, he gets sacked. And I'm like, is he scared to throw the ball because I don't want to make Kyle mad? You know, I don't want to get in the doghouse or whatever. I saw some hesitation, which I didn't necessarily like. I liked when he started freelancing though. He made that one weird ass play where he kind of jumped through, like almost cross his shoulders, you know, threw it back or whatever. The ball looked better coming out of his hand, but he is raw. Like, he is really raw. And
pause.
Zeke, yeah, pause.
Yikes.
He needs reps, man.
Oh, no.
And I'll say this right now. Let's just say something happened to Purdy and Trey as the backup, right? I don't know. Like, he needs, the expectation would have to be turned down a little bit throughout the season to see what happens. He looked better than he did last preseason, and that was just in one game. I remember last preseason he couldn't dump the ball off at all. Like, y'all remember that? Like, against Houston, he couldn't dump the ball off. The short passes are the passes I was concerned about, and he looks like he improved in that manner. So that's good. He made a couple dart throws. Dart, as Rod was saying in the chat, dart. I was like, hold on, that touchdown was lucky as, but you know.
I cleaned that up.
You did.
I cleaned that up.
You did.
Because I saw after, yeah.
Mm-hmm, you did.
Then now Marcus was in the chat. And he went all the way overboard with the trays of bust. I didn't see bust, but I saw concern to where I'd be like, all right, he got to get reps. Like,
he didn't will the offensive line to block for him.
That was some silly shit. Like,
inspired.
Mark, that was some silly shit. You didn't inspire the O line.
Was the word.
I think we also talked about this. The O line depth is concerning. We hear about names like Poe, in practice squad last year. I mean, having a 5'11" guard I'm not too excited about. But I mean, seriously, I mean, Poe, maybe he turns into something, but the backup offensive line didn't inspire confidence in knowing if somebody gets hurt, there could be a problem. So there was some concern there. Darnold was whatever. Allen was, I ain't even pay attention to Allen. He's whatever. If Allen's playing for us at any point this season, wrap it up. Bell, Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell.
What school did he go to?
Fuck Michigan at this point. Like, here's the thing, right? As a receiver, he looked pretty good. You know, he had some moments. I'm like, all right. But let's remember, 49er fans, we get excited about slot receivers a lot in preseason. Like, they'll show flashes of shit. I feel like we've gone through this the last 3 or 4 years. We'll see somebody in the slot.
Sherfield.
Right. And we'll be like, okay, this might be something. Ronnie Bell can't return kicks at all. I don't want to see him returning punts. I don't want to see him returning kicks. It's almost like he's afraid. I ain't saying he's afraid, but I feel like the ball is going to get knocked out. It could be him wearing that number 10 jersey, bringing up Kyle Williams, you know, flashbacks. I don't know. But Ronnie Bell can't return kicks. Maybe he does something in the slot. He can't do that. Winnie the Pooh. Hilarious, Christian. Jameson seems to be that guy. He seems like he have a little wiggle. You know, he's only like 5'9" or whatever. If he can find a spot on the team on special teams until Ray's back, he needs to be handling all the kickoff returns. Go ahead.
Latu, pack your bags, son. Everything you did in practice, trash. You get in there on special teams, holding call. Then you fumble the ball. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling him one bit.
Nick Saban would have been too happy about all that.
Sorry, Tanya. Sorry about your Islander, but your boy Latu is doo-doo.
Here's the problem with him. Not only did he not show up during the game, we had been hearing the whispers that he was dropping passes.
Drops in practice.
In camp. Yeah. Yep. So that is concerning. Somebody mentioned, I don't know if it was in the chat or if it was on Twitter or whatever, X, whatever they want to call it now. Jamar Chase had the same issue his rookie season. It ain't the same. Like it ain't the same. Yeah. No. Yeah. So let's put layers on that.
What?
Yeah. Somebody mentioned, you know, well, Jamar, it ain't the same. He's got to get better because he can get cut and he can be replaced. So I don't know if he's ahead of Willis right now on the depth chart, but he
better not be.
He shouldn't.
Absolutely not.
So that was a problem. Fumbling the ball. Yeah, man. And then Moody. Moses Moody is better. Period. All right. I'm gonna say this right now. We took a kicker in the 3rd round. I'm fine with that. I'm
glad you are.
I'm kind of fine with that. What I'm concerned with, I'm not saying Moody's gonna be a bust or anything, or he ain't really gonna do what he needs to do. But kickers can be real fragile mentally. You know what I'm saying? And he missed his first 2 kicks. I don't want that to start getting in his head and like, oh, I'm a draft pick. You know, I'm missing kicks. Like that shit can mess with him. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't care if he can kick it 60 yards. If you can't kick between the goalposts, it don't matter if you can kick it 60 yards. Honestly. So
facts.
That is what it is. Shout out to my dude Robbie Gold, though. You know, shout out to my dude Robbie Gold. If you out there, hey, pick up the phone. We might need to call you. Well, but Moody, get better. I don't want to hear any more about him kicking in practice, kicking the game. I don't care if he makes 65-yarders in practice. I really don't care. You got to make kicks during the game. And if it's preseason or not, it's still in a game setting. You have to be able to do that because in the playoffs, we had no concern when it came to field goals. We knew Robbie Gold was going to get it done. That's going to be some pressure. So, hey, Moody, get it together or the Wolverines going to have to get cooked. How Marcus said?
Let's cook.
Let's cook. There you go.
Well, I mean, no, to your point, I mean, let's look at it this way. The last time we saw a kicker drafted this high, right? It was, I think, Roberto Aguayo by Tampa Bay, who didn't miss anything at Florida State. I think he was a second-round kicker. Exactly. Well, that's the point. Roberto Aguayo, and like we saw how his career ran. I think he was gone within that first year.
Yeah.
But again, going back to it, so we were talking about, Miss Tanya, obviously, Cameron Latu. She has some thoughts about Trey, and so this is what she said. We put it on a banner because it's a good, long thought, but I will read it out anyway.
Another woman writing paragraphs, huh?
But no, she said, to me, it looks like he, talking about Trey, drops his head down too much, and he doesn't look like he trusts what he sees. Now, this is what I saw with my eyes. I like Trey and Purdy, but I'm a fan of the team first, not individual players.
I agree.
And I do too, and I feel like it's a mix of things.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, it's a mix of things, and I think it's a mix of things that we all talked about. One, again, remember, go back to Trey last year. This is the part of the game that he struggled with, the short game, right? Not trusting it. That was the one thing that we all needed to see him improve on and be better with. So there's that. Also, there's the part that I had been talking about that I said a lot of people hadn't been talking about with Trey, but also Brock Purdy. They haven't had to go against live bullets yet. What is that mentality of two quarterbacks coming off injuries when you have people coming at you? But they you have these live bullets. Trey got sacked 4 times in a half. So of course, especially after that first drive, we all saw how bad that was. What then becomes your mindset after you're coming back from an injury? And I have to question the same thing. For Brock, whenever he gets back, whether it's week 1 against Pittsburgh, we know how good their pass rush is, or whenever he does come back. And I'll get back to it in a second. I know, Gina, you were about to say something.
No, I was just going to say her thoughts were attached to the question after 3 years in Kyle's system.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put that up there too. So yeah, and here's the other part of it too. Shouldn't Trey have the pre-snap reads down and the plays as well? Well, I feel like part of that, Kyle kind of told on himself. And what I say on that is, remember earlier in the week, or I think it was last week, they came out and said, we don't have a Trey specific package this year. And the reason why I say he kind of told on himself is, well, if you pencil hole a player into just certain package or certain amount of plays, that's what they focus on. They don't focus on the offense at large. And I'll say this, even when I was at Stanford, and we did this a lot for running backs too, not just quarterbacks, because our playbook was so extensive. It's okay, when we bring you in, we're just going to have you focus on these. I want you to get these down, but also, of course, while you're getting those down, focus on start to learn and get familiar with everything else too. But of course, if you hear that from a coach, what are you going to focus on? The plays that you're going to get you in the game. That's going to be your number one thing. And so I think for Trey, especially year 1, where all he did was have those Trey specific plays. Yeah, shout out Pac-12 wise. When he had those Trey specific plays, that was his main focus. Now you go into the offseason, you're hoping this is going to work, that's going to work. His season got cut short, of course, we know, from the injury in week 2. So to an extent, it's he's been there for 3+ years, but mentally at the same time, he also hasn't. And part of that is on the coaching staff and how they try to use him from the get-go. So that's how I view that. But also at the same time, too, as y'all talked about, the offensive line, as bad as it was, I can't blame. I don't care how old, inexperienced you are as a quarterback. You have an offensive line that plays that badly, I cannot fault you for taking your eyes down from downfield and looking around you. I can't fault you. It's a mix of everything. So
especially off of a broke ankle.
Especially off of a broken ankle. So that's why I agree. I agree with Rod. I give him a C. There were some things I saw that I liked. He had a great pass down the sideline. I forget who it was to. But I think it fell incomplete. He had that one dart down the middle. The favorite play I had of him, again, stepping up in the pocket, rolling to the right, jump pass left down the middle. I think it was to Conley. But the one down the middle where he stepped up in the pocket, rolled right, jump pass left to the middle of the field. It's that's why you drafted him in terms of his athleticism. It wasn't because he's a good runner. It's because he can expand and make plays happen like that one. So that's what I thought about Trey.
Hey, Danielle, your boy Latu, this is a trash bag right here. Clean your locker out. I don't even understand why you got this boy. Clean his locker out immediately. I want him and his whole family out immediately. He is actually playing like this. Everybody can go. Everybody. We don't need to see you. He's playing like trash.
He said
no excuse.
Too.
No excuse. None. I don't want to hear nothing about him.
Yeah, he's not looking good so far. He's not
Steve-O,
looking good so far.
hold your horses. We'll get there. I promise you. When it's your show, you can tell us. You can dictate when we get to Sam Darnold. I promise.
Nobody gives a fuck about Sam Darnold.
But I mean,
that's a USC product.
But here's the unfortunate reality of the situation, though. With how things went,
feel like somebody's watching me.
But I mean, for Trey, that's kind of the case, though. Everyone's watching, and the unfortunate reality is, you could just sense it, right? That first ball that Sam threw, the deep ball, I think it was to Ronnie Bell on the right sideline, the near hash. As soon as that ball was completed, right, took the 2-3 step drop back, fired from your own end zone, you just knew everybody's like, uh-oh. Like if you want Trey Lance to be the guy, it's like, oh, I already know what the narrative's gonna be about that. And then if you're on the other side, if you're Sam Darnold, people's like, yep, see, there he is. That's the guy. That's who it's gonna be. So you kind of have to care about Sam Darnold in this case, because if I'm being honest, at least with what we saw from the first week, I am very it's a very likely case that Sam Darnold could be QB2 right now.
I'll tell you this right now. We'll know for sure after Saturday. Because I look at it this way. Trey played the first half, and Darnold got in a couple series in the third and played pretty much the third. And everybody's like, oh, well, that shows Trey's QB2. It's clear. No, I think it's the opposite. Yeah. I think he thought Darnold was QB2, and he was like, I don't want you getting hurt, so I know what you can do, vice versa. It's looking real clear like Trey he might not make the team. Like, I'm just being completely honest right now. Trey might not make the team. They pretty much came out today and said, hey, Purdy's the guy. Like, they acknowledged it. Like, Purdy's the guy. He's been the guy. I'm not convinced Trey makes the team at this point, just to be completely honest.
Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised?
We're not.
That Brock was number one. I don't think Trey is not going anywhere. Yeah. I don't think Trey's going anywhere, but
I'm not convinced.
I mean, making the team wise?
Yeah, right. I don't know if he makes the team, man.
That's he's making the team. Making the team.
One thing real quick, Bryant, you're 100% right. The audience is what keeps the show going, and shout out everybody. Also shout out Steve-O. When I make comments like that, I am like, if you don't know me, that's how I like joke around and play around.
Hey,
so,
Bryant.
Like I fully agree with you. If I make comments like that, that means I'm messing with you. All right. Anyway, please go ahead.
Yeah, we're just messing with him.
Who's talking? Oh, my bad. Was it me?
We love Steve-O.
Oh, 100% love Steve-O.
Oh, yeah. What up, Steve-O? What up, Bryant? Jared, everybody. Mr. James, E1.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever else is in the chat, Tanya.
Everybody.
Steve-O's always up in the chat. Yeah, we love Steve-O.
No, Steve-O's always tuning in. Like, I appreciate that, Steve-O. Shout out to you.
But
if Trey plays more this weekend than Sam, I think he might not make the team. Like, it's real.
Game 3 is going to be the one that you for sure figure out. Because, I mean, we'll see. I believe, and at least this is what I would do if I was a head coach. Brock Purdy's got to play game 2.
Definitely.
He has to.
Definitely.
So, like, obviously, you let your starters play a bit. Game 2. Game 3 is the one you decide, like, okay, here's now for the guys that are either backups or fringe roster guys or not. You let them figure it out in week 3. But no, this, like, so I can't really – I feel like I couldn't really make a decision of what's going on this next week. But, yeah, game 3, that's what I feel like.
On the 53-man roster.
Agree, Mr. James.
On a 53-man roster, are the 49ers keeping 3 quarterbacks?
Yes.
Yes.
Of those 3 quarterbacks, Trey Lance is one of those 3 quarterbacks.
As of right now, I think so.
It's not going to be Brandon Allen.
I think he's going to be the practice squad guy.
Brandon Allen is.
Yeah.
With 3. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Trey Lance is not going anywhere off this team.
I don't think so.
We don't know that yet.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something, Wise. Oh, my gosh. I don't even know if you can come back from that if you cut Trey Lance. I don't even know.
Boy.
No,
I don't
you
What are they coming back from?
If they cut him,
they will crucify you.
I'm crucifying Kyle Shanahan in a heartbeat.
Like,
bruh, There's no fucking
Why y'all
way.
y'all
No.
getting mad at me? I'm just telling you what I
No,
see.
no, 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 no.
No.
No one's getting mad at you.
Yeah, no.
guys.
Yeah, we're not mad at
It's
you.
the
Yeah.
situation. Like, do you know how
Catastrophic that looks.
like, dog, you can't give up 3 first-round picks and then cut the very same person that you gave it up for? Cut? Not even trade? Dog, you just release him?
Somebody gotta want him though. Like, I mean, if somebody gonna trade for him, maybe they trade him. But I'm just saying, I'm not convinced he makes the roster. However that looks, trade, release, I'm not convinced at this point.
Wow.
So
that's a tragedy.
But see here, but that's what I've been talking about optics all along. Like I know there's some Niners people saying that, you know, a lot of people like to say that, oh, it doesn't matter if we win a Super Bowl, it is what it like. No, it does matter. There's something to say about missing. What's up, Terradon? There is something to be said about missing on high quality picks, right? Like if you miss on Trey, you miss on Javon Kinlaw, you got to hit on Brandon Ayuk, obviously. But there's some more in this regime where they've missed on, especially higher up in the draft, more than they've hit on. That's important. I mean, again, if you think about it this way, with Jake Moody, obviously I know it's the first preseason game. If he doesn't work out, do you know how many times people can look and say, you know who else we could have got with a 3rd round pick to help this roster out versus getting on a kicker that doesn't even work out?
Offensive tackle.
Whether it's an offensive tackle, a swing lineman, if someone goes down, a nickel corner, like there's so many things you can look at with this team that's already loaded, but definitely has its deficiencies, and said, man, we could have addressed that in the draft, but you couldn't do it. Like, that's important in all of this.
Isaiah Oliver needs to step up too.
Well, I could have told y'all about Isaiah Oliver.
Yeah, he needs to step up.
You said it from the jump. I didn't have no say so about him. I was like, I don't know enough about that dude, but Jordan called it. He called it well beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, we drafted him as an outside corner guy. Wasn't fast enough to play outside, so we moved him inside where he can be more physical. He's a long corner, so we moved him inside to be more physical. He actually had some success when he first got there, but got an injury. I think it was his Achilles, had to sit out. So now he's also coming back from an injury, which, I mean, I guess story of the Niners, right? You got to see what happens. You got to see what happens when someone comes back from an injury.
So here's my thing on it all also.
Thanks, Miss Tanya, too, by the way, for the questions.
I mean, Kyle's put all his chips in with Brock.
Thank you, Tanya.
He better hope he's right. He better hope he's right. Because he put all his chips in. So he put all his chips in. He better hope he's right.
Cuz can I get in there real quick? Can I get in there real quick? He put all of his chips into Brock Purdy, a guy that he didn't scout or draft. That's number one. He put all his chips in when he gave up 3 first-round picks and moved up in the draft to pick Trey Lance. That's when he pushed his chips in, because he didn't have to.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, Dan. He's given up on that. So I'm saying he's decided I'm going with Brock. So he's given up on this whole trade thing. The trade thing don't seem like it's happening right now unless an injury happens. I'm saying he's decided in his head, I've chosen Brock. So I'm going all in. I have a Super Bowl roster. Go get it done. That's putting all your chips in on a player. He decided he didn't bring Jimmy back. He clearly hasn't developed Trey. So he's like, you know what? I got Brock. You even hear the narrative. Like, listen to them talking in the press conference. Listen to the reporting going on. He's all in on Brock. You can not like Brock all you want to, but the facts are the facts. Giving up the picks for Trey, that ain't going all in. They still did what they did. That has passed. He's decided, I'm not going with that. I'm going with this kid. Chips are all in. That's going in. That's your chips going all in.
It sounds like Cal got unlimited chips to me, is what it sounds like, is what you say. It sounds like Cal got chips on deck, on deck, on deck. Like Cal is sitting with piles of chips, because Cal put his chips in on Jimmy G. That didn't work out. Cal put his chips in on giving up 3 picks for Trey Lance. That didn't work out, clearly. And now all of a sudden on a player that he doesn't even know, didn't even draft, didn't do anything on, he's putting all his chips on Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. So next, if Brock Purdy doesn't work out, then it's Sam I Am. then he's putting all his chips in on Sam
No,
Darnold.
no, it's not Sam I am. Like, he decided, hey, it's Purdy. Like, that's what he decided. That's what he's going with. Like, I don't know where you heard he didn't scout him or he didn't draft. I ain't hear all that. I ain't hear none of that. And I'm a Niners fan, so regardless.
Who does the drafting in the because I learned this from Rod. I learned this from Rod.
Learn what from Rod?
That it's what was the other guy that was about to leave y'all organization, but they brought him back. He was going to be the GM somewhere else. That
Adam Peters.
Adam Peters is the one that drafts in those particular rounds. I thought that
The
was
high
Adam
rounds.
Peters pick.
I don't know where Peters draft, but Peters is the future of the 49ers. He will take over.
So
my
my point is that didn't have anything to do with Kyle. Is my point.
I wouldn't say that. If Kyle is doing a quarterback, I'm sure he has a say so. Like, he's not gonna just be like, no, I don't want this guy.
He did have a say so. He gave up 3 first-round picks for Trey. He did have a say so.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure he had a say so in Purdy. So if you think Kyle didn't scout Purdy or didn't know anything about Purdy, that'd be crazy. The play caller, nah, I'm not gonna scout the quarterback.
Did he scout Trey?
Kyle acknowledges when he doesn't scout people. Remember, he didn't scout Mahomes. He didn't scout Watson. He didn't worry about a quarterback that year. So,
but he scouted Trey though.
Yeah, he worked him out. I don't know what's the point.
My point is he gave up 3 first-round picks on a guy that you may think might not even make the team.
Do you think he's gonna make the team?
I do.
You think he's gonna be the starter?
No.
Okay.
I think I don't. I mean, they've already named the starter. Finally, they've already named the starter. My thing is.
So if he makes a team, though,
Lance,
what's the difference? He's not gonna play, right? If he's not the starter, he's not gonna play.
So I'll say this: I don't know. I don't know if he'll play or not because I don't know how Purdy's injury is going to go. I have no idea.
Facts.
So,
I'm saying barring injury, obviously.
Barring injury,
yeah,
he's the backup quarterback or third or whatever it is. But honestly speaking, we're gonna find out about Brock Purdy this year. That's for damn sure.
I agree.
That's for damn sure. And I mean, and all I can say is, how many chances does Kyle get to not get it right?
Say it one more time. Please say that one more time.
How many chances
say it one more
does
time.
Kyle get on not being right, dog? Like what? Like how many years has it been y'all had Kyle Shanahan as y'all head coach?
7.
Look at Gina, my girl Gina, poor Gina. That's Gina V. She locked in because she understands, dog. It's been 7 long years. And we still talking about quarterbacks for the San Francisco 49ers. And for him to make a statement and say that Jimmy Garoppolo was the best quarterback 49ers had since Steve Young. Did he say since Steve Young? Or did he say Jeff Garcia?
Yep.
Okay.
He said Steve Young.
So since Steve Young.
Young.
First of all, disrespect to Jeff Garcia. That's number one. I'm not even 49ers
right,
fan.
Exactly.
Disrespect to Jeff Garcia.
That's fact.
And disrespect to Colin Kaepernick, who was the last quarterback to take y'all to a motherfucking Super Bowl outside of Jimmy G.
That is fact.
So the fact that you are overlooking great quarterbacks and saying Jimmy G is better than everybody outside of Steve Young, which was next to Joe Montana, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not on your team, Kyle. Hey man, y'all got the coach.
Jordan.
You know.
What's up, Jordan? How we living, man?
Oh,
y'all know how I feel about Kyle Shanahan. How we living, man?
I didn't say anything.
I love when this goalpost keep getting moved for Kyle Shanahan. I love this bullshit because y'all motherfuckers, boys, show love.
It ain't. You know I'm not moving them. But let me ask
my question is, hold on. My question is,
go ahead, Wise.
Boom.
So you remember last year we was in the championship game and you was like, "Hey, it's over. It's over. Stop. Don't get all stressed up about it. Don't trip about it. It was over in the first half." Remember that when you sent us that message? Yeah, you right. Yeah, you remember that? It's gonna be the same thing with Kyle. If he don't go 2-14, they not gonna move him. I mean, that's just what it is. So us getting hyped about it, it really don't matter. Kyle gonna have to go 2-14, 2-15, whatever. What is we 17 games now? 2-15, 1-6. He got to do some shit like that because if he has a playoff bound season, Jed ain't doing nothing. Is why get upset about it?
Jed's
It's
got some
nothing's
other
gonna
stuff
change.
He's got to worry about.
Jed does have some other shit he needs to worry about. Shout out to
His name is
Marcus
Nick
Stewart.
Bosa.
Well, not that. Well, yes, but not just that.
And
Yeah,
a lawsuit.
Nick, he ain't worried about Nick right now. Like Nick, the last thing on his mind. But I'm saying, like,
that boy worried about being Martha Stewart.
exactly. So I'm not even going to like get hyped about it because they're not going to do anything. So it's pointless. John Lynch is probably going to bounce after the season. He's going to get a TV deal, and we'll see what happens.
He needs to, because Adam is, you said, the future.
The Wonder Kid.
Well, he need to get in position ASAP Rocky because John Lynch needs to be out of there.
We'll
He
see.
needs to be out of there.
Rod, your mic is off.
Yeah, Rod, I think you're muted. One thing too,
My
because I see a
bad.
lot of people in the comments in the chat, they're talking about all the picks they got right, and you're not wrong with that. And we're not saying that he doesn't get anything right, period. But here's the most important part of this: if you are supposed to be an offensive guy, there is one thing you have to get right.
God, I hope.
And
not.
again, after 7 years, there is
That's
one
exactly.
position on the 49ers you can continue to look back at and say, here's the reason, or here's the position as to why the Niners did not win a Super Bowl, right? You want to go to when they played against the Chiefs. What was everybody upset about? Oh, Jimmy missed the throw, the wide open throw to Emmanuel Sanders. Oh, he missed this open throw on third down to George Kittle. All right, you want to look at the Rams game, the NFC Championship. Why did a lot of people say they got it? They missed that game because of what Jimmy G did late. Like I get Jaquiski Tart, he missed.
Yeah, I was like, and Tart dropped that pass.
He did, but
Yeah.
there were a lot of things that Jimmy did wrong in that game too. It's been year after year after year for the guy that's supposed to be the offensive genius. And everyone knows if you're an offensive genius, you are tied to one position and one position only. It's quarterback. So the fact that Kyle has not gotten the quarterback right yet, that is the only position that matters. And now we'll see what Brock Purdy does now that Brock Purdy actually has pressure. Let's be real. Brock didn't have any pressure on him last year. He didn't.
None.
Because no matter what would have happened last year, it was going to be, well, he was our third string quarterback. It's all right. We were lucky to make it as far as we did. It was good that we got here. It was good we got here. Well, guess what? Now that you're coming out the gates as a starter, that Mr. Irrelevant, that don't matter anymore where you're a pick.
Oh,
that
very relevant now.
Correct.
That
Very
doesn't matter
relevant now.
anymore.
Correct.
You are the guy. You have
Correct.
the pressure. You have to deliver. And so if Kyle gets it wrong again, none of the other stuff draft matters because that's the one he's got to get right. Quarterback.
I knew in 2019. Dan, tell me if I'm lying. I knew in 2019
Marcus.
before the Super
we
Bowl
can't.
that Jimmy G wasn't the man. I didn't like Jimmy G then, and that was on the time when we was undefeated at the time, and I saw this coming. Pause. But now all of a sudden we here, and now it's like people want to forget. Like, oh my gosh, like Kyle, where's this genius portion? That's what, man. I just don't get it, man.
Okay, so
I don't get it.
2K teacher, you said if you get rid of a coach, despite the success he's had because he's misses on QBs, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Go ahead, Dan, please.
What did Philly do?
Like
come on, man.
I'm so confused with the loyalty to Kyle Shanahan.
Why y'all getting mad?
Right.
Sometimes
Because some people ask dumb questions.
You gotta understand, like, the reason why coaches don't last in this league is because they don't get things correct. And it's the little things that they don't get correct. And in this league, you have to get quarterback right in order to win. You want to win the Super Bowl. So the one position you got to have right, unless you are the Baltimore Ravens of 2001, which I doubt. And I mean, the 49ers has a great defense, but the best player on your defense ain't even in the building right now.
It's a different era too.
I'm telling you, my head coach is good. My head coach came in and he got hired because he did focus on the quarterback. He turned Jared Goff into who he is today. and we got Matthew Stafford in
Who
1
is
year
he?
and won the Super Bowl. Sir, the last thing you need to talk to me about is a head coach coaching up quarterbacks and getting them to the Super Bowl. My quarterback got 2 quarterbacks. My head coach got 2 quarterbacks to the Super Bowl, sir, and we won one of them. So when your head coach wins a Super Bowl, come talk to me, Steve-O, because you can't talk to me about no head coaches, sir. Your head coach is underachieving and has been for the last 7 years with at least a number 1 defense for 3 of those years. So don't talk to me about no head coach, sir.
Let me ask you guys this.
Please don't talk to me about no head coach.
So wonder what if Purdy is the guy? Wonder if he's right on Purdy. Say we don't win the Super Bowl this year, but Purdy does what Purdy does. He did last year. What's the stance?
I mean,
still didn't get the job done.
Quarterback?
We have an all-star team, the whole roster, and all this. Then you still don't win it. Then what?
I was about to ask, what are
That's
your
what I'm asking. What is
expectations?
it?
Like,
What
what's your
is it? What
expectations
happens?
or what's your standard?
It's a fail. Period. There's no excuse this year. Like, that's what I keep saying. It's no if Brock Purdy continues on, to your defense wise, if Brock continues to do what he did last season and we lose, that's still a failure because you have all these all-pro. Remember, you brought up last week. We got 5 people in the 100, in the 100, in the top 100, all that stuff. So it means nothing. Nothing.
You're not listening to what I'm asking you guys. We keep talking about he doesn't get the quarterback right. I'm saying if Purdy is the guy, are we changing that aspect that he doesn't get that he didn't do wrong by not going with the right guy?
What do you define as the guy?
So
he can't be a system guy. You can't be a system quarterback.
Well, you say the guy, so like, what do you define as the guy? Because I mean, if the guy just means
Purdy has to ball out. Like, I'm gonna need Purdy to be a top 10 NFL quarterback to be considered the guy. If he's just another system quarterback or a slight upgrade over Jimmy G, he's a system quarterback. And this is Kyle running Kyle's system, and we have a system guy. I need more than a system guy. I don't believe we can win until we have somebody more than a system guy.
Isn't
so
that
Purdy
what he
just
wants,
becomes
bro?
a system guy.
I agree with that part. Absolutely. Okay. I agree with that.
Isn't that what he wants?
So that's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. I'm hoping
like
not.
That's been kind of the whole problem with all of this, right? Like that's the reason why you've been married to Jimmy G as long as you were. That's why I brought Purdy's in there and why he can relate to him more than maybe Trey Lance. We'll see how that goes. That's the reason why he wanted those ties with Kirk Cousins are there, because that's what he potentially wants.
What was your question, Jim?
I'm honestly, Wise, to be honest with you, I can see a scenario where Trey Lance is not on your team, maybe not this year, but definitely next year, because I feel like if Kyle doesn't win with Brock Purdy, his lust for Kirk Cousins, y'all will have another quarterback, and it'll be Kirk Cousins. And let me say this. Let me just say this. I like Kirk Cousins, so that's not a downgrade by any means. I think Kirk Cousins is better than Brock Purdy. So I don't even want to put that out.
I think he's better than Sam Darnold.
And he's definitely better than Sam Darnold. So you know what I'm saying? So I mean, could Kirk Cousins be the answer, the guy wise that you're saying? You know what I'm saying? Because honestly speaking, I don't believe Brock Purdy is the guy. I believe he's a system guy. I believe he's a Jimmy type of guy. I think the real threat was potentially supposed to be Trey, right? Trey was supposed to be that X factor at the QB helm. You know what I'm saying? So that was going to be the guy factor. You know what I mean? Like that's who put fear in the hearts of Rams fans, Seattle fans, Arizona fans. Nobody wanted to see this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I think Brock Purdy is a system guy. I don't think he's the guy you're looking for or the guy that you described, but I think Kirk Cousins can be that guy. I think Kirk Cousins can be the veteran quarterback that can take that defense and that system over the hump and win it. I do think that.
That's the problem. That's what I don't know yet. I don't know if Purdy's a system guy or if he's a guy. And that's what this season is going to find out. That's what I'm saying. We're going to have to find out. See,
Gina, what was your question, Gina?
22 interceptions in the Super Bowl year. But did we win that Super Bowl? That's all that matters.
Hey, hold on, Gina
Shout
got
out to
Gina
Sarah
said she
Dawn,
My
had
bad,
one.
correct.
Gina. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I was just wondering, like, what if we do expect, or no, we don't expect, but I would like to see Trey give us something that we haven't seen before with Jimmy. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about Cap or Jeff
Thank you,
or
Tanya.
Montana or Steve. I'm talking about since Jimmy. All right. That's why we drafted him so high. It's what in my head. That's what I'm saying. Something completely opposite than Jimmy. With Brock, because I heard something on Good Morning Football this morning that when you look at somebody like Brock, I think it was Kyle that said, you're getting somebody like a Jimmy, someone that's like gonna run Kyle's system.
Did he say that?
Mm-hmm.
Good grief.
Something to that effect. Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking, okay, so then you're not seeing that dynamic. You're not gonna see a top 10 quarterback in the league. That's what I got from it, So then how much are you going to put on Kyle Shanahan? How much are you going to put on Brock Purdy to make the team successful this season? Either fucking way, we've got to have that, great defense that we had. It's got to be better than last year, or it's got to be the same, right? And then Brock Purdy, if he is QB1, has got to ball out. Whoever is under center has got to ball out. We've got to be better than the Eagles, right? So how great is our QB1 got to be? We've got to be better than fucking Jalen Hurts to win the division.
See, I don't compare quarterbacks like that, where you got to have a quarterback better than Hurts. Nobody on the roster is better than Hurts. So if that's the model we're going with, we've lost that battle.
Well, no, not the motto, but here we're talking about like we're the unknowns though. Like Brock Purdy with CMC, we already know what we've got, right? Trey Lance.
We really don't know what we have. That's the whole problem. That's why we keep saying we're in year 7 and we still don't know.
But we saw
Purdy
what we saw
played
last season.
7 or 8 games last year. So we have a small sample size and we're hoping he's that guy. We don't know that yet. So that's the scary part. That's why I think everybody has the issue with we're in year 7 and don't know who the quarterback still is. Like I told you guys this months ago, he's always fumbled this position. And that is a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem I've always had with Kyle. You continuously fumble this position, hoping you're going to do this. If you wanted Kirk Cousins 6 years ago, you should have got Kirk Cousins. You shouldn't have traded for Jimmy G, because that was all it was leading up to. Oh, Kirk Cousins is coming. Whatever. If that's would have been the case, that would have been the case. We would have been talking what we're talking. But
he wants a mobile quarterback. Well, then fucking use a mobile quarterback. I'm waiting. We're waiting.
He decided Jimmy G wasn't good enough to win the Super Bowl. He determined that. We didn't force Jimmy G out. Kyle decided, hey, Jimmy's not good enough to win the Super Bowl for us. I need something better. So he invested in Trey and traded up to get Trey. Now he didn't develop Trey. He didn't put Trey in a successful position to become that guy. Now I'm going to go back to a system quarterback. Hopefully not, but I still think Purdy might be a system guy. I don't know what Purdy is yet. This season will tell us all, but it's frustrating to have to worry about the most important position on the field right now. Like, it's frustrating.
So two things real quick, and I gotta head out because
Gerard, I do.
First off, that's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
I do.
And I'm gonna put that back up too. I just wanted to comment on this real quick because I'm sure people are curious about it. Steve-O, so really right now, just because it's a civil suit, like not much really else going on with that. Like, not really much to talk about. Is nothing criminal against him or anything like that. It's just going to take time. So can't really say if you're going to lose picks, not lose picks. What the NFL is going to do is a long process.
That's going to be about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
they're going to drag that out as long as he can.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. So I wouldn't worry too much about it right now. But to Gina's point and the question that she was asking, again, it's just one of those things. Like I said, it's. I feel like let's swap two coaches for a second, right? Let's put Kyle Shanahan in Tennessee, and let's put Mike Vrabel in San Francisco. It's not on Mike Vrabel as much to get the quarterback position right. Like it still is because he's a head coach, but it's not as much because he's a defensive guy, and we all know that, right? Like linebacker for the Patriots, that's what he is. So it's not as much on him. But when you are an offensive guy, like I said, that is the one position you have to get right. Like with Andy Reid, right? Kansas City, obviously perfect marriage. We all know that. Zach Taylor up in Cincinnati, we know he got it right. Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, like those marriages, and as far as we're concerned, if he stays healthy, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. Like if you're going to be that guy who is an offensive guy, you have to get the quarterback position right. But also, the quarterback position can't be the continuous reason why you come up short. And that has been a reason on and on and on again with the 49ers. So, yes, y'all are 100% right. Well, yeah, the defense is going to come in handy. Well, we've seen that happen. They still came up short. The kicking's got to come in handy. Well, we've seen that happen. Game winner up in Lambeau when nobody could score. Still came up short that year. Blocked a kick. That was your only touchdown of that game. You blocked the punt. Hufanga takes it back for a touchdown. Still came up short that year. So you've seen all these other things that work out and play well for the 49ers, but at the end of the day, there's still that one position that still has the question mark. And again, as an offensive guy, as the offensive genius that you're supposed to be, if you're Kyle Shanahan, it's the one place you can't get wrong. It's the one place. Like I said,
my bad, I was reading. Yeah,
I was reading your comments.
My bad, I was reading. Yeah, I was reading Pterodome. I'm like, wait, what? I wasn't understanding.
I was reading Pterodome stuff too, but like, did y'all see so it's certain people, man, and 2K teacher is one of them. Okay. Like, let's all be
what did
honest.
he say?
All right, so this is what his argument was to me. He's like, oh, I the quarterback that won the Super Bowl threw 22 interceptions that season. And I was like, so we won the Super Bowl. And so I asked him a question. I'm like, so do you want a quarterback that throws 22 interceptions and wins the Super Bowl, or a quarterback that throws 0 interceptions and loses in the playoffs? And he was like, I'll take the consistent guy. What?
Well, that's where the Niners are right now.
Consistent guy losing in the playoffs? So you want an Aaron Rodgers. Okay. So that's fine. If you just care all about just making sure the quarterback is consistent in the role, you rather just lose and have a good quarterback every single year.
But see, that goes back to the question that we had. Remember that you asked us last season? Do you rather with people? There are people out. Yeah, exactly. People want to be relevant, and others want rings.
Bingo,
and
bingo.
There's your answer, and there's your answer right there.
Thank you, Gina. Absolutely. There is the answer. People care more about being relevant than winning. Like if my quarterback threw 35 interceptions and won the Super Bowl, all of those interceptions don't matter. That's his own personal stats. My team.
Hey, smash that like button.
We got more than one ring. Sir.
Thank you, Brian.
Hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on. 2K, how old are you? That's the better question. How old are you, 2K?
Ron, can I say something real quick on that too?
Yeah. While we're waiting,
Okay. So while you get that answer, I want to say this real quick. I am because here's the point for me. I am a part of a fan base for a different sport, right? It's baseball, where a team won 15 straight division titles. Okay, 15 straight division titles, 1 World Series. You think I wouldn't have traded any 2 or 3 of those division titles for another World Series ring?
Absolutely.
You don't think so? Because at that point, okay, cool. If you're consistent in getting there, guess what? Everything else, it feels, all right, cool. Yeah, we got to this point, but
that shit was laughable.
What else? What's left? And that's I'm talking about the Atlanta Braves, obviously, during the 90s and early 2000s. So
Congratulations.
yeah, it's just like
What's up,
cool, you're
Dennis?
consistent, but even consistently just getting to the playoffs and falling short, especially the way you fall short. Give me the rings. I'll sacrifice
the
some of the
ring.
titles and some of the consistency.
Give me the
for a
ring.
Absolutely. And on that note, like I said, I got to head out, so y'all be good.
Much
do
love,
too.
Jordan.
Y'all be loved. Much love to y'all, man.
Take it easy. Call me later.
Got you.
Man. Well,
Why
now
Dan
since
leave?
we got, who knows? But anyway, so now that this turned into a 49er pretty much thing now. So people rather be relevant than to win a ring. And there you have it. That's just what it is. And he's
did he say
37.
that though? Is that what he said? Like, I didn't see the comments. I'm trying to find where he said that. Like, is that what he's saying? Are you talking about 2K?
Yeah.
Short side. Okay. Yeah. Here. So
Rather be
at the end of the
rather
day,
be relevant.
we've been talking about Quest for 6 for the longest time. Like, it's annoying. Like, it's get it done. That's why I keep saying all the chips are in the middle of the table. It's this year.
Absolutely.
Because he's determined, this is my guy, this is who I'm going with. So let me not keep reminding everybody, we've only had a quarterback play an entire season one time. Once. That kind of shit scares me. Like, it's a lot of things going into this season I'm uneasy about. I'm uneasy about what happened to Trey. I'm uneasy about, I don't know if Purdy's going to be good enough to be the guy or not. I'm really uneasy after what I saw on Sunday. And it's obviously we know the starters didn't play, but the depth of the team is now, it has to be in question.
It's
like,
the depth.
Where is the depth? Yeah, like,
yep. Right.
We have to start looking at that. So
it's scary.
It's gonna be
but it is
a crazy season.
But like I said, it is just preseason.
I agree, Terry Dome. It's Super Bowl or bust. Like, it has
for
to
Kyle.
Happen. It has to happen. It's not even just for Kyle. It's for all of us.
It's for all. Exactly.
I know, but I was going back to what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
That's why I brought up the situation and the thought what I said about why I said how many guys that we had in the top 100 and everything. It is regardless of how Brock Purdy plays. He can play like an all-pro this season. If they don't win it, it don't
matter.
Shit. It don't matter. So that's why I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. I hope that he plays that way. I hope he is good. But I also hope that the rest of the team plays and does their part too. It's like Terradome said it earlier. I think we all kind of said it as well, but I know I saw what Terradome said. This is a team game. Tanya even said it as well. It's a team game. So all 53 men have to play their part.
Yep.
We don't get shit. It's just that simple.
Right.
Well, we're gonna find out. We get rolling in 3 weeks, so
I want that number 1 seed. I personally feel better having it so we could play the Eagles or the Cowgirls at fucking Levi's. You know what I mean? Like, I feel better with that. I would like it.
If it came down to a 1 seed or us having a healthy season, I would rather be healthy. I don't give a fuck where we play them motherfuckers at.
I don't care
if
either.
it's in Dallas or if it's in Philly, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
we've done it on the road before. Yeah. We've done it at home.
But I like
so I agree.
I like it.
I agree. It's easier, obviously, but that not getting the 1 seed isn't gonna like, oh, I'm nervous. Like, I don't think
I'm not gonna be nervous.
Yeah,
but I prefer it. Like, because I feel better knowing that, I know we can do it. We can win it for sure. But I like my chances.
Well, we're about to find out.
We're about to find out how focused these guys are. That's my whole thing behind it. If these guys are truly focused and enough is enough with the talking, Debo not being super shiny, out here actually executing plays, and BA still doing his thing, and running backs. Let me say this too. Behind McCaffrey, I'm a little nervous about that because none of the running backs did anything yesterday in the game. None.
Mason didn't do nothing.
Yeah, that hurt.
TDP.
He didn't really do anything.
I liked him. I thought
Mitchell,
he did pretty decent.
Mitchell stays. Actually, TDP did better than Mason. I'll say that.
He did.
That was clear.
He did.
I'm not gonna worry too much about the running backs right now because again they're running behind some bullshit. But
That too.
CMC, he stayed healthy last year. Let's hope he does it again.
Wait.
I need Mitchell to be healthy. What's up?
Okay, if you not really worried about the running backs, right? Behind what they did behind this line,
Mm-hmm.
let me ask this first before I ask my next question. Do you give the running backs a pass for running behind the line? Running behind the line that they had yesterday.
I wouldn't give him a pass. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm not worried about the running back situation. The offensive line, the backup offensive line is trash. Like, period.
Facts.
We were out there. There were no starters starting on the offensive line, like at all.
Bad.
Trent Williams, I get, but we could have put somebody else out there. Like,
yeah, who are we gonna have if someone goes down? We need protection. Pause.
It's the backup situation is not ideal right now on offensive line, so that needs to be addressed. And honestly, it's stuff like that is where all those draft picks we gave away come back to bite us. I'm talking about picks for Trey, picks for CMC. Those early round picks is where you gotta try to get some depth on your team. Like the fact that we took a kicker, in a sandwich round instead of trying to address the offensive line, any kind of depth to the offensive line is really unfortunate. And not that Moody again isn't gonna be okay. He probably will be. I overreacted on the first game, but he missed a layup kick. That shit pissed me off.
Then he shanked the other one, dumbass right.
Yeah, Moody.
That mug, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just that's the kind of stuff, man. Like where those picks really like hurt that we didn't have those early round picks for so long. We haven't addressed the offensive line really in a while. As far as depth goes. I mean, we hope Moore was gonna be okay. He didn't look okay. He didn't look okay Saturday. But
I agree.
We'll see what they do against the Broncos on Saturday coming up. So,
and the Broncos got a tough defense.
They do. And speaking of, I'm doing why Jordan was here. The Saints, Derek Carr, they win in the NFC South. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I'm sorry, Jordan. They're winning the NFC South. Them boys look like Derek Carr like he ready to go. Like
Derek Carr in there. You had Mahomes in there. Like when they were playing each other, I was like, Mahomes, what you doing in there? Get the hell off the sideline. What you want to play around? Like what?
And that's hard for me to say because I hate the Saints. Like I hate the Saints. Like with a passion. So yeah, Derek Carr.
But this is my thing too. Okay, Mahomes played.
I agree.
Mahomes played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it take our team? Why none of our starters play? Like, why are we so cautious for stuff like this? This man just won a Super Bowl. This man had a messed up ankle, the whole nine. He still played. Now, granted, it's not like he played the full game. He played, maybe a series. Why not a series? Why not? Why do we always have to have these slow-ass starts to start a season off? But a guy who just won the Super Bowl, also the MVP, also the Super Bowl MVP, plays, but we got a guy, and then I hear all this Brock coming off of injury type shit. Okay, we hold him out, and then week 1 he gets hurt. Then what?
We better hope Trey's still on the team. But
exactly, like we have no rhythm in stuff. Like sports is about rhythm in any sport. Like
Purdy has to play in a preseason.
He has to.
He has to. I mean, we have to see. Like you said, he has to get in some sort of rhythm. He needs to get hit
off the
once
bus.
or twice. Yeah. Hey, Teradon, you ain't lying, man. Like we're an injury prone team, and it's been that way for a few years now, unfortunately. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. They need to play some starters in week 2 against the Broncos this weekend. Like I don't want to not see somebody playing. But to me, also, I don't want to call it sabotage, but why would you put Trey Lance out there and not give him anything to work with? Anything?
Right.
Like I'm talking about. I mean, he didn't. I mean, nothing. Like, give him something, man. You could have had Spencer Buford in there. You could have put Banks in there. They're still young. They could use a little work. You know, they didn't have to play. They could have played a series.
It sucks when a narrative looks that way, and it's like almost just alarming. It's screaming. You know what I'm saying?
It's not an excuse,
like,
Marcus.
yo.
I'm just saying that's what it was. Like, hey, Marcus
you're
already
not
said
you're not a Niner
Trey
fan.
probably not gonna make the team. So I mean, it is what it is.
Marcus didn't hear that.
Yeah. So it's there's no excuse. This is what it was, man. Like we put him out there. Even if you wanted to trade him, you gotta put him in the best spotlight to look good. Like, and the cold part is, I'm a Trey Lance fan. I hope Trey is good. But if Trey is trash, I'm going to tell you Trey is trash. Yep. I literally just said earlier, there's some shit that really made me nervous. Like, he needs reps. Like,
yep.
Marcus, the cold part is you weren't too far off when your statements in the chat on Sunday, but you went overboard with the whole he's trash, he throw him away. It wasn't that, but he does need to improve. Like, if Trey is a starter right now, I would be concerned after what I saw. But he needs reps, man. Like, that's what Purdy has over him. I told you guys last season, Purdy had all those reps in college. That shit matters. Like, that matters. This kid hasn't played football. This is going on, 4 years? He's played like 7 games, maybe, total, including college and the COVID year.
Marcus,
the kid got to play somewhere. Like, yeah.
Marcus,
wait, Marcus. No. Marcus, since you love to say Trey is trash, right? And he's already a quick and he's a bust and everything, but you don't have that same energy towards Kyle Shanahan. Why is that? Because he ain't got it together yet.
How you feel about Mac Jones?
Do it, Ron. Do it.
I just really want to know, because it just doesn't make sense. You gripe on him so tough, and I'm just like, bro, but you give Kyle Shanahan a pass. Aren't they one and the same?
You are 100% correct. Trey, we gave him a C, but he looked so much better than he did. I saw improvement. Marcus said he regressed. I didn't see regression at all. Like, I saw nothing but improvement. We talked about it earlier. He made the easy passes.
Line.
Yeah, he made the easy passes that he couldn't make last year in the preseason. Now, did he make some bad decisions? Yes. Did he hold the ball too long? Yes. But that's because he hasn't had reps. Like, he needs to play. Like, the game did seem like it moved a little too fast for him. I think I told y'all that in the chat. But it'll only slow down the more he plays, and he has to play. So if
this man came off 11 months of not playing, not even live bullets at him for 11 months, and Marcus had, in Marcus's mind, he had to come out like he was Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan at that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, he had to be flawless out there. Like, your expectation, and Marcus, let's not forget, during the summer, you was all about, you know what, let's give the kid a try. Let's give the kid a chance and all that. Yeah, but now you saw one game, you little flip-flopping ass. I knew you was going to do that. I knew your little flip-flopping ass. Yeah, he back on that again. Flipper.
Mac Jones is the answer. That's what he want to say. Go ahead and put it in the chat.
Yeah, we know how you think, buddy.
We know how you operate, Marcus.
We know how you operate.
Wait, I think I'm flawless when I hop on the show. Oh,
yeah, hilarious. That might be the case. That might be the case, Jordan Watkins. But I was talking about, Michael Jordan.
They call him Flipper. That's what we call him. Flipper.
Flip.
See, some of y'all don't know about that. Some of y'all don't know
Flipper
about Flipper back in the day.
Flipper Anderson, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. Well, is that it? Are we wrapping it up?
Yeah,
pretty much. Look at that. We right at the perfect timing, like we said.
Oh, we didn't do the question, but
Pause.
we
Go ahead. No, put that out there.
Oh,
then.
what's the question? Yeah,
Let's
what's the
roll with it.
question?
no.
Yeah, 'cause I rather-
The one I think Jordan wanted to do, the one the injury. I didn't even come up with my player. If you could wish a
Jackson.
non-injury. Oh, okay.
Yep. Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Period. If we
What
can
was
have a
it?
player that never got hurt, that never had an injury, the injury never happened, who would we
In
want to see that
football?
player? Yeah, I think it was football.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson.
Without a doubt. Even though I hate the
Wow.
Raiders, I would have loved to have seen that. Like,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see what Bo Jackson could have done healthy.
Bo
without
in
the injury.
LA. Bo in LA when I was a kid, Bo was the truth. The Nike commercials.
Love you too, Tommy.
You saw everything around on the up there on the billboards and everything. Bo was different. Bo was different. Like I understand people love to say, about Deion Sanders and everything like that. I get it. Bo is different. Trust me on that.
Agree.
Bo is different. So yeah, I would definitely say Bo. But if we talking all sports and everything like that, I would love to see how Penny Hardaway would have went.
I had a
Penny
NBA
Hardaway.
person.
Who'd you have?
I had an NBA. I forgot it was NFL, so I picked
Go
an
with it.
NBA player.
No.
Okay. Derrick Rose.
Derrick
Ooh,
Rose.
you not bad. Grant Hill.
Grant Hill's a good one. Grant Hill's a
A
good
lot
one.
of people don't know about
Yeah.
them three right there. Trust me.
Yeah.
Grant Hill was the good thing about Grant is he still gave us time, but he was just about to be that guy. Like he was just about to be that guy. Like
Grant Hill was
Grant
a
Hill
walking
was
tripping double.
he was
Exactly.
a problem. People don't
He
know
was
about
taking over the league. When he was in Detroit, Grant Hill was a problem to the league. Nobody, and I mean nobody was guarding him. Another guy I wish would have stayed healthy, Brandon Roy.
that.
If he would have stayed healthy too,
Man.
yes.
Yeah.
Brandon had that game in him as well. Brandon Roy would have been somebody. Also, somebody, a big guy that I thought of.
Oh, go ahead.
Andrew Bynum.
Laker fan. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He was out the league in his 20s, right?
Oh yeah. When he got that shag on his head, I didn't know what the hell was going on. He was on that. Yeah, he was on that shit.
Basketball
Oh,
player,
Steve
another
Young,
one.
definitely.
Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson.
Ooh,
If he didn't have a
Grandmama.
back issue, Grandmama.
Oh
That was my
my
guy.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That would have been a good one too. Unfortunately, things happen. Wait, somebody said
Yeah.
Steve Young. Hold on, Steve Young had more.
What? At least one more.
I don't
know.
Yeah,
I don't know
where we
either.
were as a franchise
Under
at that time.
Mooch?
Hey, I was a
don't
Mooch
know.
guy. Mooch was my guy. And
Yeah.
I just don't think we were there as a franchise.
With
Even with
T.O.?
Steve Young. We had a lot of problems. Like we had no running backs. Like our running game was trash. Like shit. It's the running game. The reason Steve got taken out. Lawrence Phillips. Like
Larry Johnson and Joe Johnson didn't have similar games. No, they didn't. No, they did not. What? No, they
Is the
didn't.
name.
No
Okay,
way.
I hope you trolling on that one. I hope that's
I hope you trolling on that one. There's no
that
way.
one,
Their games were nowhere close. No way. Go back and watch UNLV when Larry Johnson was at UNLV. No, they weren't. No way.
That was funny. That was funny. On that note, let's get out of here. That was. Oh, here go Marcus. Oh, hell no.
Yeah. Hey,
How
but
would he say,
before we do, who said that? Before we go, we have a little. We're going to leave you with a little nugget of information on Wednesday. We are going to have a special guest in the beginning of the show for about 10 minutes. He's going to make a little. He's going to talk about how he's doing like a little tour of making the case for why Roger Craig deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So it's Mark, and he goes by 49ers Camelot. So we're going to welcome him onto the show for the first 10 minutes on Sports, Laugh, and Chill. So don't miss
One
that
more thing. One more thing too. Become a Patreon member to get into our fantasy football league. You have to become a Patreon member. The only way that you can become or be in our league, you have to be a Patreon member. That's it. It's just that simple. Those are the rules right there alone. Love, peace, and hair grease to all y'all. We out like 3 strikes.
That's right.
Jesus.